Hey, what's up guys? Tito here with Aloha Android, and today I'm basically going to give the spotlight to Samsung. Now, we're not going to be talking about flagships because that's pretty much covered day in and day out on YouTube, but their mid-range and their budget devices, they're all unique when you really stop to think about it. These devices that I have here before me are, my favorites as well. And I see tons of people using these devices and having a great experience, and it really goes to show what the manufacturer does with their devices and how much thought that they put into making a smartphone for all of us to use. And so that's what this video is basically going to be running on, is the fact that I'm going to give the spotlight to Samsung and share some of my thoughts and opinions about these devices that I currently own in my possession, just for fun. So let's jump right in it. And let's get to the Samsung Galaxy S2 Epic 4G Touch. This by far is my favorite device. Even though devices today are light years ahead of this device, it is still one of my favorites. Not just the fact that it was a flagship within its time, but the form factor, the build, and everything else is nice. And yes, back then Samsung was more focused, on plastic devices. But they did a pretty good job with the Epic 4G Touch. I honestly enjoyed this device, but the one thing that made me really fall for this device is the fact that you can customize it with custom ROMs. As a matter of fact, this device is pretty much the base of my earliest videos here on YouTube, and so I will always have a, just love for the device, period, and would never get rid of it. So now we have the Galaxy Prevail LTE. Now this device is unique and pretty cool. I did a challenge on this device, and although I didn't complete my challenge and do an entire week using it because of the fact of the placebo effect, where I was using stronger devices, so they pretty much outweighed what I needed in a smartphone. But if I've never touched a phablet, anything else that can superly multitask, this device would have me just enjoying it. It would suffice. It would get the jobs done that I normally do on a light basis. And the fact that the battery life on this device is extremely good. For a 2600 mAh battery, I could pretty much run the whole day just doing this normal stuff that I do, like Facebook, Google+. All that can be done on this device. The 4.5-inch display makes it easy for you to actually maneuver around the device, and I love the form factor build with the sides of the device, the edges. It's just really top-notch in my opinion for a budget device. Now right here we have the Galaxy Grand Prime for Metro PCS, and this is where I say that, between Boost and Metro, why I choose Boost. But anyways, we're not talking about network comparisons, we're talking about devices here, and this is the Grand Prime. Now one thing I like about this device is that it carries the same form factor as the Galaxy Prevail LTE, and it feels more premium built. I mean, the weight to it, how the plastic feels, the polycarbonate, is just solid on here. The edges on the side, easy to grip. The backing is kind of slick, but I can get over that. Cameras on this device is actually pretty good, and I wish the cameras that was on this device would be on the Galaxy J3, which is the next device that's coming up here in a minute. But still a great phone in my lineup, and I use it as my vlogging camera. It does go to prove that having 2 gigs of RAM, or 1.5 gigs of RAM, is better than having 16 gigs of internal storage, in a way. So now we have the J3, Samsung Galaxy J3 for Boost Mobile. This device is actually quite beautiful. I love just the accents and the color scheme to it. Now some people don't like the gold look, and of course there is a white option for it. The black bezels does kind of tricks people to thinking that it has a bigger screen than what it does. It only has a 5-inch display, but it could fool people to thinking that it had a 5.2-inch display. Front-facing camera could have been better on this device, and the rear-facing camera is stellar for taking some pictures and video. Other than that, one thing I enjoy about this device is that if you're someone that's going to hold your smartphone for a long period of time, this device is light. It's also thin, which does make it kind of hard to hold at times. And like I said, I prefer the older form factor with with little thickness to it than this thin version. But other than that, solid phone, and still a phone that I tend to go back to periodically. So the J3, 2 thumbs up. Now here's the monster or the beast that was recently released with a lot of controversy to it, because this is the Galaxy J7. And the J7 While it has some really neat specs like the octa-core processor, it's got NFC, it's got a front-facing flash. The Snapdragon 615 processor has issues with it heating up, especially when you're gaming. So gaming is not really welcomed on this device, but if you're a person who uses your smartphone like a microcomputer, everything else is gonna fly. I've not had any issues at all whatsoever using this device to do my daily routines and some. Sure, some people look at it and say it looks like a Note 2, and you know, they probably use the body of a Note 2 to make this device, who knows. Well, all I can say is this, the J7 is my secondary device of a go-to if I want to use a phablet. So the J3 to me is top for smartphone, J7 top for phablet. Those are my opinions on all these devices. So all in all, Samsung, great devices in my opinion. And you know, they do a good job in the mid-range and the budget levels as well. Now there are other companies like ZTE that's making a move in, but I don't think they'll touch Samsung anytime in the future, but that's just my opinion on that. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe if you have not, and yeah, thanks for checking out this video. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.